All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Will Wonder Pod YouTube interviews. As you see, we're set up a little bit differently, and that's because I have more than one guest. We can't fit everybody on the couch. I guess we could, but it would feel a little awkward, all four of us there. But without further ado, I would love to introduce 3/5 of Young OG Media.
No, this is all that matters.
Oh. See, Miguel, I want you to know.
The core group.
This is why I wanted you here, my friend, so you could get your shit off, but it's okay. And you're the silent partner, and I'm with it.
Super silent.
Let's go around the table and just introduce everybody. We'll start right here with my man, Zoe.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's the fresh kid with the beard and no fear. And today we're chilling with Will Wonder for the Will Wonder podcast interviews.
Beautiful.
Sessions.
Not the one.
Live. You know what I mean? I got the headphones.
We're still workshopping the name.
Yeah, the Will Wonder interviews. My name's Alonzo Ashley Oliver, if you're the government looking for me. So, yeah, that's me.
Oh, you ain't just going to keep going into it?
Nah, that's it. It's his podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We ain't going to run it over like that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You know, it's Londo, a.k.a. So Taylor. Just chilling with my man Will.
Beautiful.
Big Will.
Like Big Willie style?
I've been on here a couple of
Big
times.
Philly in the building.
Not Big Philly.
Georgia. Georgia.
My name is Danielle, also known as Danny_Sade on Instagram, and the podcast under YOG Media. Young OG
The network.
Media. What the hell are we doing?
Beautiful. We're going to get into a lot here, but I just want to go from the jump, right? For people that have no idea about Young OGs, we're going to go from the beginning to where we're at now, okay? I obviously know a lot of this, so don't be looking at me like you should know this shit.
Okay.
So let's go from the beginning, right?
Okay.
How did you guys? Because you two are the founding members, if you will, right? How did this whole thing start?
Not if you will. We are.
Ooh. Shit.
Founding fathers.
Yeah. Come on. Purge.
There you go.
Nah, man. So, man, me and Londo go back to about 2010, about 13 years ago. Just knew he was a creative guy. I was a creative guy. I picked up a camera about 2016-ish. We started doing vlogs, things like that. He had his brand So Tailored, where, you know, he was getting fly. So I got a lot of, you know, dapper. Like how I dress now, I pretty much got that from him. You know, I just kind of took it, ran with it.
Appreciate that, bro.
Now he can't see me now.
Okay.
Like, he don't want to see me.
How are you dressing prior
He works
to that?
from home. He works from home.
Work from home, bro.
I mean, I was cool. I was like more like blazer, dress shirt, but then Londo was like, nah, you got to throw the tie on. You got to have the pocket square, the lapel pin,
We just like
levels.
Yeah,
There's
just level it
yeah.
up and just like dial
Ankles.
things in.
He got me
Yeah.
showing the ankles, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well,
Had to start lotioning up ankles and
nah,
shit.
man, it's
Something,
ashy.
you know what I
It's
mean?
ashy over
That's
here.
important.
I leave it X's, put X's on my ankles. But nah, so we had, you know, so I was like, you know, let me get fit so I could fit into these things, right? So then boom. And so I got to shout out my man Londo. And then one day he hit me up, like, yo, let's do something, bro. I see you got the camera. I got a camera now, you know, XYZ. And I was like, all right, well, let me hit up Miguel, because Miguel was like helping me with the videography.
Okay.
Like essentially almost like my cameraman, basically, because Miguel was getting into photography and video at the same time as well. And yeah,
Let me stop you right there.
Go ahead.
How did you meet Miguel?
Express.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so
he worked there.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't talk much.
We all
Yeah.
worked there for a while.
We all worked at Express.
Got it.
For the longest time, when I met Miguel, I had him in my phone as Miguel Camera Guy.
That's right.
First name, last name.
That's
Camera
funny.
Guy. That's what it was for the longest
Yeah.
time. I didn't know his last name to save the life of me. I never asked either.
Okay.
It was probably like a year or 2 years before I changed it.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then they
Again,
started
Miguel,
hanging out.
I'm gonna allow you to come on at some point, and you just get your shit off your chest. But go ahead.
It's going to be a short podcast.
So yeah, so then I was like, well, let me hit up Miguel. And I was like, yo, Miguel, we're going to go downtown. So everybody met at my house. We Ubered to Lake Effect. I think Lake Effect had just opened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went, found a little booth, and I said, yo, turn the camera on. And we just started casually talking. And then shit, man, it was like, I think that video is at like 20,000 views right now. I mean, which isn't shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But for me, 20,000 views.
But it ramped up like that quick.
Yeah, it was
though.
quick. It was like
Yeah.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You know what I mean? But the funny thing, the video was so ahead of its time because we got just as many dislikes as we did likes. So I was like,
bro.
yeah. It was,
What were you guys talking about on this video?
Man, he was talking about the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Why we dress up, why we stay, men's grooming and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like what we were drinking at the time. Like it was just on some grown man. It was on some grown man shit. Nobody was really doing that.
Yeah, it was a conversation that we have anyways.
Yeah.
Got it.
We was just chilling.
Yeah. And then we're like, oh shit, we got something. So it just kind of evolved. Londo bought the Zoom and the microphones, and we just continually upgraded our camera equipment and lighting. And then it turned into, a full-fledged, podcast.
Yeah.
And then it was like strictly on YouTube, and then people were asking for it from the audio's perspective. So we put it on audio and was like, oh shit, we got something. And then 2020 hit, the pandemic hit, which forced us all to really like sit down. And I took advantage of that time to, see how I can, better curate videos and editing and things like that. It's funny because I was supposed to film something and Miguel was going to film it. And he was like, nah, I can't be there, bro. So I had to film it. And I wasn't very confident in my filming skills. We had camera equipment. I really didn't know how to use it. I just was the main editor.
Okay.
So I filmed it, I edited it, and then I was like, oh shit, I can do this too.
Yeah.
So then it just kind of, from 2020 to where we are now, it just kind of is the evolution of the Young OG perspective.
When you started the Young OG perspective post this video of you guys just talking like you would any other day, when did you decide like, okay, let's make this an actual podcast. Let's bring guests on. Or what did that look like for you guys?
I don't think that was until 2020, right?
Yeah, it was like 2019, because then we had Darcy, KB, DeMar,
right.
Tua.
Yeah, I think the first little bit we were more focused on the things that we wanted to talk about. So we had one where we talked about how suits should fit. Like the way when you go buy a suit, if you're going to an actual tailor, if you're just going to buy off the rack, like how it should actually fit and look. We had a fitness video.
Yeah, we even did like workouts tailored towards like your body parts popping out in the suit.
No shit.
Yeah, man.
Is this all still out there to watch?
I think it's on private, but I can send you the link.
Oh, I was just saying for people, but yeah, I'd love to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're old because I got put onto you guys probably start of the pandemic.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really, I wasn't out and about.
And truth be told, we had DJ Leva on. We interviewed him in my basement with no mics, just camera, shotgun mics.
Okay.
And then I think Dre followed Dan, aka Leva. I didn't know. I met Dre Dre brought the New Boys out here long time ago. So I didn't really know the connection.
Jesus
and
Christ.
so then Flight 89 podcast started following us. And then when Dre had his surgery, he had a lot of time on his hands. So we would DM, back and forth. And then one day he hit us up and was like, yo, come to the studio. I'm like, oh yeah, for what? He's like, come pod. And that's when they started, what was that thing called? Turbulence check? They started the turbulence check, and we saw this space, right? And he was like, yo, this is a creative hub. Like, I want to open my doors to y'all if you want to come in here and record podcasts or whatever. And then when the guests really didn't start, we were interviewing guests in Londo's living room. And then the guests, we had our first guest, Darcy, who's now engaged to Darren Williams.
Wow.
Shout out.
You guys are probably a part of that in some way. Good for her.
So we had her in here. That episode took off. We had, who else we have in here? JD and Chappelle. Me and Londo did an episode in here. Amanda Weaver. Yeah. Moist Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley.
Yeah, so this space right here, All Rock Studios is a big part of, the momentum that we caught too.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys start to grow Young OGs. You're doing these interviews. Is there a plan like this is what we want to do? I kind of know what you initially wanted to do, but when did you say let's start focusing on the podcast? Like we could make this a side hustle, if anything.
The podcast was just to keep us consistent. Like the podcast wasn't the main focus for us. It was the media aspect of it. The podcast allowed us to hone our skills in with editing audio, editing video, doing all these different things. But what we really wanted to do was just be creative. So even going back to when we originally started, like you'll see skits pop up randomly.
Yeah.
Still to this day, we have skits that
On
pop
me.
up randomly. Yeah, on me. Just random shit because we want to be creative.
Yeah.
So as we've been navigating through all of this, the goal was we want to focus on the creativity, the media, and having a media company. So during the pandemic, we started Young OG After Dark, which
was really dope.
Yeah, which was to highlight artists.
Yeah.
And, bring an artist in. I think Mike Styles was our
Mike was the first guest. Yeah.
First guest.
Okay.
And, that led to him, being part of the group. But it was a sit-down interview, very much like you would see on late night talk show type of feel. We'd interview them, go over stuff with them, and then we'd do a live performance and put a video out. So it was really highlighting us, but highlighting who's doing things out here in the city. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the pandemic, man. Everybody was just trying to figure it out. I feel like it turned everybody into mini entrepreneurs. Yeah. So we did a lot of that filming. Shout out to CJ Drisdom, and that's at the time he had Lake House Studios in the Mill Creek area. So he allowed us to curate in there, and we were paying them. Remember, we were like, "Yo, it's $40 an hour." We're Venmoing him. He's like, "Bro, this ain't shit. Just film here because you're doing a lot for my business by saying." You're affiliated with with Lake House. You're recording all this at Lake House, which was generating, dollars for him. You know what I mean? So we're essentially like influencers for Lake House. You know what I mean? And then in return, he just, he's like, my only ask is, can you highlight, some of my artists,
Sure.
And he, at the time, he had like one of the dopest rosters. He had Spit That Fire, which I don't give a fuck when nobody says Spit will rap anybody under the bus.
I agree.
And Courtney Kelly, which brings a different, I mean, she's not from here, you know what I mean? So it brought a different, different feel for the music, a different texture, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So between Mike, Spit, and Courtney Kelly, and then K the Dog and Bobby B, they did a joint episode. That's what kind of put us in a different, different lane. Yeah, I would say
than just podcast.
Yeah.
A whole entertainment platform almost.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really like about you guys, and I'm sure I've said it at some point. You're very business minded, using the podcast for a lane of doing all of your video work, right? So we're going to bounce around a little bit, obviously, but when does Young OG Media officially become a thing?
You know what's funny, man? So we start the podcast, right? I'm like, yo, we got to get audio. People are asking for the audio, and I'm always the guy that's like, let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. And Londo's more logical. He's like, I remember we're sitting in his living room arguing about we were so all over the place, man. We deleted a whole fucking memory card. Remember that? It was like, nah, you had it. We're like finger pointing. I'm like, all right, man, we got to tighten up. We got to tighten up. Like, we can't be just deleting, the wide angle,
Yeah.
And so, because that's what we prided ourselves on. Like, we had 3 cameras. We had wide, left, right, boom. Nobody was doing that.
Right.
And so Londo's like, I hear you, but need a logo. We need a logo. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me hit LJ up. LJ's our graphic designer.
Okay.
Like, he's unofficially Young OG Perspective, pretty much. So I hit up LJ. He gave us some mock-ups. We chose the logo. All right, Londo, here's a logo. Put the shit on audio, right? But that's like, what, a month later?
Yeah.
That's like a month later, right? And then fast forward to last year, it's like, Londo's like, bro, you're doing all this shit under the table. You're doing a lot of this shit on the homie discount. I know you're just trying to get exposure for us. You got to create the LLC. All right, cool. Boom. We create, the LLC.
Yeah.
So I would say from last year, I'll say like last October, like not even that long ago.
22.
Yeah. We created, we created the LLC, got our paperwork right, got our contracts right. That way we can really start monetizing, off the network.
Does that feel like it's been a bigger undertaking? Like, is it harder being an LLC and working with people, getting those invoices rather than being like, hey, hit the Venmo?
Nah, man, honestly, like it's crazy because like,
we got invoices before,
but once the LLC hit, it was like, all right, we're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm leading the group. They're trusting me to lead.
Yeah.
So I can't present no bullshit. You know what I mean? So, and then, in return, we were able to, like, I'll just say this right here. ISO Zoe in the building, doom. by yourself. No screen.
Yeah.
Boom.
I got it. 8 seconds left.
Yeah. So we've already made more money in the last 2 months than we ever have. You know what I mean? And I know it might beautiful. It is great. You know what I mean? But I know it's because of All-Star Weekend.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But you capitalized.
Yeah, we capitalized off All-Star. We probably looking at some things. We could have raised the price a little bit here and there, but that's learnings, right? Everybody gets that. But what it did was also just really give us that momentum and give us that confidence that like, yo, we do this shit, so.
Well, I think we capitalized on that, but I think a big part of it too is Zoe and I had some pretty frank conversations about like I said, you're doing all this stuff for free. Like we need to stop.
Yeah.
You have a certain skill set and you need to stop. You need to start charging people. So I was like, there was a certain situation that came up. He was upset. We weren't getting paid the way that we should have. It was back and forth. And I was like, nah, this is what I do for an actual living. We're not playing these games. So you have two options. So I drafted up contracts, invoice. This is what we're signing moving forward. We have this whole process mapped out now to where people want something from us. You get a workup. You sign. Once you sign, you want our services. You put your deposit, so on and so forth. So this year is more about following a defined process to make sure that we're going about it in the way that keeps us not only accountable for what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, but keeps us accountable for the business.
Yeah. And I think that's where people don't know where to draw the line. You know what I mean? Because there's a lack of access, there's a lack of experience out there. You know what I mean? My experience in leading, larger teams, Londo's experience on the back end is just a perfect marriage.
Yeah.
And there's been times where I was like, yo, is this even worth it? You know what I mean? Because I'm a big time person. Like I say on Danielle's podcast, time is your inventory, where you spending it. You know what I mean? Like, so there's been times where I'm like, yo, is this shit really ain't adding up? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I 100%.
I'm sure everybody's felt like that at certain times, but you got to keep going.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got to keep going. Because in the span of 5 years, I've seen videographers come and videographers go. But what I haven't seen is what we're doing, which is putting together a conglomerate and calling it a media company. You need photography, we got it. You need audio engineering, we got it. You need videography, we got it.
Yeah.
You need hosting, we got it. You need good looking people to come to just come show up to your event. We got it. You know what I mean? And by us moving like that has given us so much access and speaking our names in the rooms that we really shouldn't be in. Like I was looking at a picture a couple weeks ago. I'm hugging the CEO of the Black Chamber, right? We do a lot of work for the Black Chamber of Commerce, and it's like, why? what have I done to get into this room? Like I've always been a person of, like, me, Will. Like I've always been a person to say, like, I want people, especially people of color, to come out here and know who to rub shoulders with, right? To advocate for Utah in that sense, because I'm a native, But I never thought that I would be getting praise from my own people like that, because for so many years it was been like, oh, you light skin, you ain't really black, you don't know about black struggle. You know what I mean? So for me to be in those rooms and embrace it, it humbles me, man. Like it really does.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I think one thing that I love about all of you so much is the growth that I've seen just in the short time I've known you and been following you, right? You talked about working with the Black Chamber. All these events you do to help, in your words, oftentimes Black retention, Black and brown people in Utah, which is very important. What made you want to do that? Because you could have easily just been like, I'm just going to do this videography shit and make money off of it. Yeah. Why is that important to you?
Because Utah's becoming a place where you have to stop here now. You know what I mean? And I know after All-Star Weekend, after Sundance, I got a chance to film like a Black celebrity, Black excellence actors event at Sundance. You know what I mean? Like, and just kind of like ear hustling. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. But where are the Black folks at? Where are the Black people out? You know what I mean? Like, there are Black people here. And I know not all Black and brown people are going to come out here and love it and find a way. You know what I mean? But there's that slight chance that people might come out here and love it. And that's what's going to create the retention. So if I've navigated my way for the last 40 years out here and found it to be peaceful and a place to raise my family and turn up in spots. This is and I understood where Charles Barkley and Shaq were coming from. Like I really did. There isn't that much to do out here. Outside of Main Street, what is there to do? You know what I mean? And I'm not shitting on anybody. Yeah. But that All-Star Weekend was a mirage.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because there's bigger problems that are turning into national problems right in front of us. You know what I mean? So on the back end, tinfoil time was that, you know what I mean? Were these things being hidden in plain sight? You know what I mean? If you want to hide a secret, hide it in plain sight. Oh, they just had the All-Star game, a lot of energy out here, a lot of black people was out here. Okay, but now we want to pull this shit and go, with diversity and inclusion and go 5 steps back.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't think they were talking about it was boring when it comes to partying, because they were all at private events. I was actually at a couple of private
Shaq
events
was
where
DJing,
they
there was
were
a lot of
there.
stuff.
Bleep me out if you want. This ain't my podcast.
Nope,
Paul Pierce was in the corner smoking a joint, talking to white women.
That's how we got fired from ESPN.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, those were parties. Parties isn't going to do it for us.
No.
It's not.
Exactly.
It's going to be the forward thinking. It's going to be the representation. You know what I mean? It's going to be people of color when you go to a grocery store. People of color at the Jazz games. That's what's really going to do it for us. Partying.
It has its place.
I'm choosing my words correctly.
No, go ahead.
But partying is not the end all be all and a cool Instagram clip. That's not it. Like, that's not it. So that just let me know we've come a long way since 1993.
Well,
But we still have a ways to go. So that's my reasoning for it. You know what I mean? And I love this state. I love this city. And I'll continue to be that advocate for Utah and a liaison to connect people, because I ain't no hater at the end of the day.
we're going to come back to this, but I want to pause for a second and get an idea. You guys do it on your podcast, but talk about your roles, because everyone has very defined roles, even the guys that aren't here. So if you could go through and just tell me what your role is for Young OG Media.
Yeah.
I'll let them know, not me.
Yeah, definitely. Alonzo Oliver, the CEO and co-founder of Young OG Perspective. And my whole thing is just really business development. Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, Londo. So I am the CFO and the audio engineer. My main focus is to make sure what money's coming in and going out, where we're spending our money, if we're making the right decisions financially, and if we're doing the right things. I think a big thing for me is just making sure that when we get excited about something, is it good for the brand? Like that, keeping us in check is really what it is from a marketing and a financial perspective. And then I do everything audio. So audio, and then sometimes the photography side of it.
You getting in the photography bag, you know what I mean?
There you go.
What's up, Danielle? What you do?
Oh, I thought I was going to do a whole backstory.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I am under Young OG Media. They produce my podcast, What the Hell Are We Doing? And I am also a host when it comes to red carpet events. And I'm trying to get behind the scenes and learn more now. But honestly, I'm freelance. Whatever they need me for is family. I'm here.
Just show up.
Perfect.
Show up.
And then you have Mike, and you also have Miguel.
Yeah. Mike has been doing a little bit of creative direction. And then Miguel is an executive producer, pretty much. So he's then he's the director of photography as well. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done in-depth interviews with both of you as well as Mike. Haven't had the chance to have Londo or Miguel. Like you said, it may be a shorter episode with my guy Miguel.
Leaves the brown guys last.
No, okay. You know what? We're not doing that right now. But okay, let's get to the point where I believe. So, do you add Mike first, or does Danielle come on first, or is it around the same time?
I think Danielle came on a few times before.
Yeah, Danielle had came on the episode Danielle La Negra. And then we did we ain't talking about shit because we talking that shit episode.
Okay.
So Danielle became a quick friend of the show.
Yeah, like a friend of the show.
Repeat guest.
Yeah, and then I want to say I would say Danielle, and then Mike came on last year around this time. Y'all both came, like we officially announced both of y'all at the same time that we were going to be producing. No, because we had one season under our belt. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So for those who don't know, Danielle, talk about your podcast a little bit and what you do on that podcast, which I was a guest on. So if you're watching this, hopefully you watch that episode.
Yes. So like they were saying, I was a guest a couple of times on their podcast, and I didn't even know I wanted to do a podcast. We just was talking shit. It just flowed and it was fun. But I remember always leaving just feeling more alive and feeling so happy. And then I would get feedback like, why are you not doing this yourself? Like, you talk a lot of shit outside the camera all the time. And you talk about a lot of things, so why not? And so I was like, okay, like, why not? So then I began thinking about it, and then I came up with What the Hell Are We Doing? My best friend Sean, him and I would have a lot of conversation, and then we just felt like it was a good platform for both of us. Me as a Black woman, just navigating my life here in Utah, and then he's a white gay male, and so it was just two different perspectives, and we talked about a lot. And so that's where the first season came from, and of course, like, who else to be there for me and do it but these guys? And so they were the first person that came to my mind, and I was like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think? And of course, they helped navigate, like, what do I want? How many episodes? They gave me a price and just kind of really navigated the way in which a podcast is formed. First season was a lot of fun. I got messed up a lot. Shout out to these guys.
I don't believe that with Alonzo.
What'd you say? Yeah, follow me at Danielle@gmail.com.
Oh, growing pains. And so, but yeah, essentially I was going to call it What the Fuck Are We Doing? I leave that out. But that's not necessary. That doesn't cater to the mass audience. Right. I thought about a bigger scale. And so,
what the hell are we doing?
What the hell are we doing? Just came about. And I mean, that was that. It was really easy, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've done 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
And then another one starting soon.
Starting this week or next week?
No, we'll talk about that. This next week.
Nice. Okay.
Next week is the filming of the first episode. But a lot of learning curves. First season was a big learning curve. Second season, we sat down and we had a big intentions meeting, which really got me in gear as far as like what I want. Of course, I've talked to you like a lot of times as far as like my podcast, what does it sound like, just navigating and things like that. So I would say between the 3 of y'all has been really like instrumental in where I'm going and what I see for myself. Season 3, of course, is going to be a little bit different, but I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
When you guys are trying to bring somebody on, right? Like just producing her show isn't nothing, right? It's a lot of work. Like I think about me going on other podcasts or the stuff I had done with Jazz Nation. It takes a chunk of your time.
Yeah.
How do you guys decide, okay, yes, we are going to do this? Because again, you look at your inventory.
Yeah, I mean, Danielle's a star and doesn't even know it. So I'm like, you see how she sounds on the mic, right? Like she sounds great. Yeah. And I knew she had a personality, and we got a chance to witness it firsthand with her first season. I wouldn't say it was like an audition, but it was just like, all right, well, if this doesn't go anywhere, it's not because of us, it's because of her. Right. So we saw, how she was really holding down the podcast in a one-on-one space. I mean, right? Like you hold yours down by yourself, but when in second season, she really got a chance to just shine, because when it comes to a one-on-one conversation where there's questions involved, but yet a comforting space,
and making it conversational.
Yeah, and making it conversational. Like she curates a space where people feel comfortable in sharing their story. And like a lot of the times they don't even, like, they'll look at the camera for a minute, but for the most part, it's like she's got them like really locked in. You know what I mean?
That people just like say things that they probably shouldn't be saying.
Sure.
Like, hey, can you edit that?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
When my episode took a minute to come out, I was like, what did I say?
No, your shit was
but it
done.
went. I loved coming on the show. It gave me a space to talk about things that I haven't talked about on other shows, because it's just not like they bring me on to talk about sports. They bring me on to talk about music, not things outside of that necessarily. So I had a great time on the show. Excited for your next season.
That was a learning lesson. You said it came out like a little late. That was on me.
It was fine. I mean, we just recorded it in August, and Halloween was rolling around, and I was like, okay.
But to be honest with you, man, we don't
keep you on your toes a little bit, Will.
We don't know shit from a podcast standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we can tell you about media, things like that. Podcasts has just kind of turned into a division of the service that we provide and offer. I couldn't tell you, man. Like, we're not consistent when it comes to week after week after week after week getting sponsors and things like that. Like, we really just sit down. Like, that's my therapy. I know that's their therapy as well. But yeah, we've really been like, you're wondering about your episode. I'm like, hey, your episode will come out this weekend. You know what I mean? Because we had so many gigs for All Star that that's where the focus has been.
Yeah.
Because that's what pays the bills.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
I just thought you were shelving me with
Nah,
throwing tacos.
man, we got some heat on there, man.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
Illuminati.
Bro, I listened to that episode twice.
I did too. I was laughing.
That was a fun one.
I was laughing. Okay, so we talk about all the work you do with the Black Chamber. We talk about the wanting to keep Black and brown retention, showing people from out of state that you can be comfortable here doing different things. What are the plans going forward for you guys to reinforce that? Like you had talked about the bill that got denied today.
Yeah.
I mean, you alluded to it.
Yeah,
we're recording this February 27th.
I heard it's back though.
26th.
I heard it's back with some modifications.
I'm sure it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
There's going to go back and forth for a while before something actually happens on it.
Yeah. So do you guys have an interest in getting into that lane? Like as far as Black and brown rights go? I mean, your highlight, I love everything that you do, but to me, that's kind of a natural evolution.
Yeah,
going forward.
absolutely. I would never say, I mean, I want everybody to speak for themselves. I'm not speaking for the group. I would never say I'm a, what's that called? Not an evangelist, but a activist. I'm not an activist. But back in the day when they said the revolution will be televised, we're going to capture it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get people on our podcast to share their perspective. Perfect. Whether that's somebody in the trenches or that's somebody that's found a way and they're successful and they're a person of color and they're now a millionaire and they're comfortable sharing what they did and their formula, like we are going to highlight that story and put it on steroids as much as possible. That's from my perspective.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's just the natural evolution. Like we're still going to do the things that we've done, right? We still want to do our, little episodes here and there for the podcast and, visuals here and there. We're still going to do all of that. We're still going to do skits because that's just who we are.
Yeah.
But it's a very important topic that we need to continue to highlight and convey this message, whether it's the message that we're vocalizing or we're behind the camera filming somebody vocalizing that message. So I think, it's the natural progression. I think with Utah becoming such a big tech hub, it's even more important because that's the space I'm in. I'm in fintech.
Yeah.
And it's very important to me to have representation within these types of businesses, especially the businesses that are breaking the normal of what legacy companies have done for so long. So I think just by nature, we're going to continue to see that broaden more and more. And I think one thing for me, especially, and me and Miguel have talked about it a lot, we want to start highlighting even more of the Hispanic side of it because we definitely focus a lot on the Black side of it, which I'm all for it. But there's a lot of aspects of it that we want to continue to just broaden because there's a big representation that is being missed here.
Yeah.
We want to make sure people are very clear and aware that we're here and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we went out to Londo's neck of the woods in Ogden. You went to a little car show. That shit was dope.
Yeah.
That
was beautiful.
Yeah, that was dope.
Wimpy and Fritz.
Yeah,
correct?
Wimpy and shout out Wimpy and Fritz. I got this DM the other day. It says, I have seen all these newfound African Americans living in Utah. It's really making me want to move there to be with my son. I love it. You know what I mean? So that right there lets me know, like, just one message. I'm not getting 1,300 messages, but just one message lets me know that we're on the right path.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're on the right path. But yes, like slowing down a little bit and seeing how we can highlight the brown side a little bit more as well.
I think everything you guys do is important. Danielle, I want to hear from you as well on that same lane. Like the evolution of what the hell are we doing? What do you want to do next? Again, I know you want to keep kind of a similar vibe to what these guys have talked about, but again, it's your show.
Right.
What do you want to do going forward?
So essentially, I love to give people a voice, and to have a platform where people feel comfortable talking about whatever it is they need to come out. Essentially, I feel like my podcast is a little different because I don't have a lane per se. I'm open to all different topics, all different types of walk of life, and just to educate people on things in my opinion, that doesn't get really talked about in Utah because conversations are so small. Socially standing, I can't speak in regards to anything else. And a lot of people are afraid to have these conversations, but I've had people pull me aside and being like, well, you know, I've seen your podcast and I would like to come on and talk about this because I feel like people don't know about this and I would love to have it. And I'm like, yeah, if it, you know, because I have someone that's going to come on to talk about HIV and to educate people about the different medication that you can take and protect yourself from HIV. And that's something that's not talked about here in Utah, or people aren't educated on it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I love, because I just love meeting all different types, variations, walks of life of people. Long term, I mean, I do want to get more into the entertainment side. So when they were talking about skits,
Yeah.
I love stuff like that and getting more into acting and like showcasing that as well.
She's had a feature in one of them.
Yes.
One of the skits?
Oh,
Yes.
which one?
Yeah.
Pool one.
The pool one.
Oh, I don't remember.
Pool.
When we were shooting pool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought you meant the hot tub. Remember we did the hot tub?
We did.
I didn't make it to air.
I was not on that one.
No, you posted
We
it.
did it. We posted it. We had it on.
You put it on your story, didn't you?
Yeah. But like with the camera phone. But yeah, just like on a more
Professional.
Yes, professional side. So
Got
I would love to get into that. And I have a logo, but I haven't done anything with it. And I see like you have done a lot with your brand and Young OG Media, YLG, like everything. And I aspire to be like that. And so as much as I do have these goals, I'm also just sitting back and taking notes as well. So it's a lot. I feel I'm like in this big in-between stage because I've been wondering if I should make certain decisions. But either way, these are long-term goals in regards to the podcast.
I feel you on in-between stage because I feel like I'm constantly in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never like, oh yeah, this is good. This is it. I'm good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always like, well, okay, what else can I do? How can I change this? What should I do next? Never. The finish line just keeps getting moved.
Evolution.
Yeah.
I'm sure billionaires even thinking like that.
Oh, absolutely. They have to.
You know.
Speaking of billionaires, so tailored over here being the CFO. I want to. Again, I've highlighted these two on the podcast before, and we've talked about them growing up and all of that. You being from Ogden, Utah, right? Originally.
Yep.
What was life like for you growing up out here?
For me, it was a blast. You talk to other people and they hear my story, they're like, nah, bro, it's just crazy.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, I mean, I grew up, in not the best of places, I guess you could say. I mean, we grew up in the hood of Ogden, however you want to consider what it was. I have two younger sisters that basically have taught me a lot of respect for women. Also a lot of disrespect for women because women are crazy. They show me that.
Clip that.
That's the preview right there.
But no, I mean, my dad, grew up in Texas, moved out here when he was younger. They were him and his friends were like one of the first gangs out in Ogden that still exists today. So I grew up with some gang affiliation. I never, claimed anything in particular. He didn't want that for me. But it was definitely just a path that I went down that...
blood or cuz?
I'm going to say neither.
Yeah, we'll leave that where it needs to stay. But yeah, I lived in Ogden, grew up in Ogden my whole life. But there was a point where I realized I didn't want to keep going down that path. I saw my dad, work his ass off. I saw my mom work her ass off and get themselves something different, something kind of breaking the cycle. And I wanted to continue to break that cycle. And that's kind of what I've done. I've put myself in positions and in situations that I have no business whatsoever being in.
From what perspective? Like from where you're from? Or?
From where I'm from,
Okay.
statistically being Latino, being in the background that I am, I'm covered in tattoos. Like all of these things statistically, I should be in jail or I should be dead, and I'm not. So I try to amplify that you have options as long as you make a different decision, which is part of the reason why I love what we do, because representation, we don't have. And this isn't the representation of basketball or football or rap music. No, this is a completely different segmentation that we've been able to give young people that look like us the option to say, oh shit, you can do something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just I'm just trying to do something different, bro. That's it.
That's one thing, and I've told you guys this before. Probably, I don't know if we recorded it, but if we did, I meant it, not to just put it on video. But you know, you talk about, again, black and brown retention, making people feel comfortable here. Again, not going into sports, not going into music, but seeing what you guys do and the lane that you've created for yourselves. I think it's very important. And I've told you before, I applaud you all on that, but I want to make sure that everyone here hears it, because it is very, very important. You're not going to keep people here that look like you if they don't see a means to making money.
Yeah.
Or you know, making a living, feeling comfortable, living comfortable.
Yeah.
And you guys have done that through your work, you know, and it's taken you a little while. Like you said, you started the podcast so you could get better with video. You finally create this company, and you've made more money just recently than you have the whole time you've done it.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
And you're going to continue to make more money.
yeah, absolutely.
We're still in the red though.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we don't need to put that out there. Okay.
No, this is what it is though.
Yeah.
Like, we are a startup.
I just upgraded all my camera equipment.
Yeah.
Like all of it.
We are a startup. Like everything we've made, we've put back into the business.
Yeah.
Minus the shirts you guys bought. I love you fucking both for that. Okay?
Got you.
They took a little while to, you know, the ones got lost, and then you got the other ones.
The only time we
I bought a
have
hoodie too.
taken money for ourselves was to celebrate with a dinner.
Sure.
And to go buy drinks and dinner.
Oh, you missed brunch. I took them out to brunch.
Oh, okay.
I took them out to brunch, and I paid Miguel because like I need him to see, like, we're not just doing this shit for fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I paid Miguel like, yo, you're this and it was the first time I'm like, hey, I need you to edit something. Yeah. I take pride on the editing, right? But I know he has that skill set as well. Like, I need you to edit something. You know what I mean? And it was something big too. It was a Wade Foundation event that we filmed. And
say that one more time.
Wade Foundation.
Dwayne Wade.
Yep. Shout out to Dragil Wade.
There you go.
And the Wade Foundation and Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? So it was something big.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything sweet.
Yeah.
You know? And I had him edit it. We got on a Zoom. I used my company Zoom because I got a Zoom account.
You know, I'm not going to put too much out there because I know people I work with watching.
Yeah. You know, we shared the screen, and I walked them through some tweaks. But other than that, man, I'm like, it was like when Kobe said, I forgot what his 08 team, he's like, man, they're ready. You know what I mean? He got Meta World Peace. He's got Lamar Odom. Yeah, Powell. Who's the dude with the headband? He's like, man, I was like, yeah, he's ready. You know what I mean? Like, I could take a step back in some ways. You know what I mean? We put out a phenomenal body of work for them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I paid him just so, you know, I just don't want people to think this, you know, just going into a business account. You know what I mean? So yeah, we about to be in Jamaica next year on the house. Young
President's
OG.
Club.
Yeah.
Young OG President's Club.
Yep.
We have a company offsite so where you can, you know, plan.
Yeah, we're
planning.
We're gonna be in Jamaica. I'm gonna be taking down women. I'm gonna get my hall pass right.
When he said taking down, I was like,
clip that up.
Taking down what?
Yeah, clip that one up too. Let's go back to back. No, but it's an investment. We're investing not only our time, but any money we make, we've invested back into the company.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I've upgraded cameras like 12 times.
Yeah.
This is like, part of it's I like to have new stuff, and I've started with cameras. I was like, yeah, this is good enough. And
for right now,
it's not that great actually. Let me do this. Let me do this. And as we talk, we're such geeks.
I had to call this fool. I'm like, Londo, like, we're good, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no, for real. Like, some new shit come out. Like, I cannot upgrade again.
And then what does he do?
You know what I mean?
3 months later?
No. I'm talking about the A74. I'm like, all right, we're good, right?
Yeah.
Like we got 4K 60 frames. It's cropped, but the lens can handle it. Like,
Sure.
we're good. Yeah, he's like, no, yeah, man, I don't see anything really else coming out in the near future. I'm like, all right, because I can't follow you.
And then tell him the next time it's probably going to end up being a red or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
oh shit, we can do that. The red? We pull up with the red?
The mini, though.
It's over.
That's all we need.
Shit.
No, but it's we operate under the premise of not just we want to have not the best equipment, but we want to have equipment that matches us.
Yeah.
That matches what we're trying to do. We're run and gun. Like we've never had a stationary place where we've continually recorded at. We're his house, my house, this studio,
The shop.
everywhere.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
all over the place because we want to be able to have different interactions. We want to be able to do all this stuff. So our equipment matches.
Well, yeah,
what we
the
wanna
work we
do.
could provide, and on that point, it's like we've never really had a sponsorship, other than we've always tried to curate partnerships. So like
Yeah.
the Lake House situation, Saga Screen Company, and now our latest endeavor, which is the shop. You know what I mean? We're essentially influencers for the shop. We record there, we shout them out. We'll shoot a little bit of B-roll for them to show them what the space can provide.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've tried to always make partnerships out of our business. And I applaud like you, Dre, Lake Talk, other side of the Beehive, who's the funny Beans and Rice. I applaud you guys for really taking that overhead, because like that is a huge hit.
Yeah.
If you're really into the camera equipment like we are,
Yeah.
and you have an overhead, I applaud you. Because that's a lot of fucking money
Yeah.
to be putting back into your business month after month after month. And from what I'm hearing, other than other side of the Beehive, because they have a sweet deal.
Fabulous deal
Shit
over
might
there.
get knocked down anytime,
Yeah,
any
I mean,
day.
you know.
But as far as what I'm hearing is people are spending $1,000 a month just to have a space.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so I applaud them guys.
Yeah, for sure. I think the hope is that you continue to put out, and I'm speaking from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
Not for you guys by any means, but the hope is that you continue to put out quality work. At
Yeah.
some point, it's going to lead to something that you really want.
Oh yeah.
But I think the hard thing is keeping that carrot in front of you. While, like you said, I'm not making any real money off of this.
Yeah.
But I love having these conversations. I love highlighting people, number one, that are doing something that I think is special, and also people that I care about. You know what I mean? I don't need their voice amplified, but maybe aren't being heard by certain people in my audience.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's important.
Well, and it's hard too. Like it's hard. Like I said, we've been at this for about 5 years.
Yeah.
A straight grind. And I've let the young OG perspective really control some of my mood some of the times. Like it's affected my marriage. It's affected my relationship with my daughter. It's affected my relationship at work with my peers.
Sure.
Yep.
Just me being in my thoughts. Like I've cried over this shit. You know what I mean? Like when is something good gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like when is something good gonna happen? And then, like Ice Cube said, you gotta be willing to put in 5 years and not see shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anybody listening or watching, it's like you are gonna have ups and downs. And you might not have somebody to pick you up, but if you do, that's great. But like if you don't, you have to pick yourself up and continue your passion project and turn your side hustle into your main hustle.
Yeah.
You also have to like really look at what that means, because there's that whole notion of do what you love, right? It's a big thing for do what you love, but sometimes what you love doesn't really pay the bills. So me and Emerson had this conversation a while back. We was talking about, him making it off rap music. And he's like, look, bro, if I made $50,000 a year and I could just tour all the time, I'll be set.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be good. That's it. So what is your level? What is enough? And what is good enough at that point? So when is something good going to happen? Well, what do you define as good?
Yeah, it's
So
all relative to you.
Yeah, like continuing to celebrate, the small wins of the successes that you have when you're doing this. Releasing your 100th episode, that's not a small win. That's a big win. Every time you release a new episode, that's a small win. Every time you have a new guest, that's a small win. But I think people get so blinded by the carrot that they don't focus on what they've been able to eat while they're going through this process to get to the carrot. So that's the one thing that I would make sure anybody that's listening really thinks about, whether it's your side hustle, your daily job, your marriage, your relationship, whatever it is. focus on the small wins, because otherwise it's never going to be enough.
Yeah. That's the fucking clip.
Mm-hmm.
After.
Clip that.
Yeah. We'll do the funny shit first, and then we'll do that. That was great.
What about you, Danielle?
What about me? What's up?
Like, where do you see, where do you want to take What the Hell Are We Doing?
Right now, it's just a passion project.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think about the money when it comes to it. I think right now I think about consistency. That's all I want to do right now. Be consistent, get more viewers. Those are my goals. And I think ultimately it's just to reach an audience where they feel like I listened and I walked away feeling better. I walked away with a lesson, you know, or I felt inspired. That's what fills me. So I could never get paid for this. And if people hit me up and said, like, you changed my life, or you had a guest on that really allowed me to feel comfortable with who I am, I'm fulfilled. So I think that for me is what the podcast is for. But I also feel like that's also like a life goal of mine. Like, I want my life to be lived as if I made a difference in someone's life. And so just having this podcast kind of navigates with a life goal of mine. Ultimately, shit, if I could be in a stadium, I'm in a stadium where, ooh, Lord. Okay. You know, when I get passionate, I get to cussing and stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta.
No, you can cuss. I obviously cut. I've never said that on the podcast or in life, but you can say whatever. You can say whatever you would like. Go ahead.
He said, zoom in for that, or in life. But yeah, people come out, and I'm able to change people's lives just by like my voice or having people come on. That's enough for me.
You spoke about consistency. What does consistency mean to you? Because I think for everyone it's different. I think I backed myself into a corner, but I like it as well. You know what I mean? To where I've come out every week for 114 weeks now.
Talk that shit.
And you guys, you even said we're not consistent dropping, but that's what people come to expect. So when an episode does come out, I'm like, oh fuck, perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not looking for it every
Yeah.
Monday. I'm not looking for it a certain day. But consistency to you, Danielle, with your show, what does that mean?
So consistency, especially with this season and the life lessons and the talks and the accountability conversations. Quality, make sure it's quality. Like, I don't just want to be releasing and be like, I have it out there, you know, it's every week, and it's shit.
Might get shelved.
Right.
That's something. That's something we got to talk about, man. Because this consistency that we talk of week after week after week. Some of my favorite podcasts. Like, sometimes I'm just like, "Okay, you just put an episode to put an episode out. That shit was mid."
Yeah.
It wasn't quality.
You know what I mean? So I feel like by week, like how we are on a bi-weekly schedule, like we're being intentional with the products. You know, we're putting out. We're not stepping on it. You know, so.
Yeah.
He said we ain't stepping on it.
We ain't stepping on it, man.
It's blue magic.
Blue magic. Come on. We ain't whipping it, you know?
So I think to give myself, at first, it really was every week. I'm doing it. I'm trying to learn how to give myself grace. I don't give myself no type of grace at all. So I'm going to say bi-weekly. I'm going to strive to continue to shoot like every week, but release bi-weekly if I can. Honestly, it's really hard to really talk about it because I ain't even released a goddamn episode for season 3 yet. So stay tuned. Fuck with the kid, but you know, give me some grace. I haven't released the episode yet, but
Philly.
but yeah, I'm
She don't know. She don't know how to answer this question.
I really don't, because I haven't released an episode to
just
say consistency, but I think for me this season, consistency is quality.
Love
and
that.
being intentional and making sure that I am constantly communicating with my team, my expectations for myself and for my podcast, and making sure I'm delivering on it. Like I hate people who just talk a whole bunch of shit and don't really follow through. They just be talking to hear themselves talk. I'm not with that. And so
I hate that too.
like I ain't trying to waste nobody's time.
Yeah.
As Alonzo says and how he feels with time. Like that's real shit. So
I love that. You talked about accountability, having people to help you stay accountable. And that's one thing also with you guys that I envy, right? Me doing this in a sense on my own. Obviously, my wife is my backbone to this whole thing. So without her, who's watching my son,
Shout
you
out.
know what I'm saying? Who's holding it down at home. But for you guys keep each other accountable. And sometimes you've had to have some serious conversations, some real conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Is that easy now? Does it get easy? Or, because I'm assuming in the beginning, you know, on your show that I was on, when I came on, you had talked about how you had done something that was kind of out of pocket and you were a little too loose at a shoot, right?
Yeah.
And he had to have a real conversation with you. How
Definitely.
do you guys keep your love for each other, your working relationship, your friends, but still have those real conversations to where you continue to...
I mean, that's my brother.
Yeah, that you are who you hang around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like these guys wouldn't be in my circle and vice versa if we weren't, you know, like-minded. So it's easy. And like I said, when you were on the podcast, like I called him expecting to hear some shit. Like I was like, y'all was lit.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I said, I watched the footage back and I was like, I was a little obnoxious, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, I was lit. Bro.
This fool's out of all pockets.
Yeah.
He's like, bro. I'm like, all right, yeah, give it to me, bro. He's like, yeah, man, you was saying this, you was saying that. But then there's also been times where I'm like, yo, Londo, fucking show up, please. Like, we'd love to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, we have those conversations. We don't take it personal. It's not, and it's not coming from an emotional place either. It's coming from like, yo, do you want this?
Yeah.
You know?
And focusing on the brand.
Yeah, exactly.
And because I'm assuming if someone, for whatever reason, Londo decides to leave, Danielle, whomever decides to leave, you guys are still going to be friends.
Yeah, I mean, even like right now, Mike's not here, but I told Mike, focus on Mike Styles.
Yeah.
Focus on being an artist. Because like
we all know what's going on
Yeah.
with each other every time.
Like I seen Mike over All-Star Weekend. I haven't seen Mike in Mike Styles mode for the longest time. He's been, you know, I don't want to put too much of his business out, but he's got a lot of new things happening that he's not used to.
Okay.
He's navigating through some things.
Yeah, like me and Londo are used to living with a female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll just leave that right there.
Yeah.
But he's been
Taking the covers at night, all that
he's
shit.
been
Yeah.
very he's been distracted from things, and I don't want to be I don't want Young OG Perspective to be a distraction. You know what I mean? So All-Star Weekend, I got a chance to see Mike Styles really be Mike Styles and to put a smile on my face. So I said, hey man, I'm gonna send out the calendar invites. Don't feel bad if you can't come.
Yeah.
Because I want you to be Mike Styles. Because
Right.
we believe in him. We believe in his music. You know what I mean? And like you got to strike when the iron's hot. I've seen them all come and go out here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I've seen Pell be hot as fish grease, and then nothing happened. No disrespect to him. You know what I mean? I've seen. Gosh, who
I mean, I can name
so
Londo
many.
and I have been through
I
it.
could name so many other. I can name a lot of other rappers, right? But I'm just saying, like, so I told him, you know, if you need to take a couple pods off, do that. Focus on your brand because we're not going anywhere because we're going to be consistent. You know what I mean? So like, I didn't think that was a tough conversation at all.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I was like, yo,
They're easy conversations. Like they're not hard because these are your people. We existed before this did.
Yeah.
The podcast came after.
after.
Yeah.
So having those conversations are easy. The topics might not be easy. I mean, there's been times where I've literally been like, I don't want to be on camera anymore. Like I'm done with the camera shit. I'll do the audio. I'll still do the finances. I'll be at the shoots.
Yeah.
But no, I'm fucking over it. But I check myself and talk to him, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go. But I mean, you guys have heard it on plenty of episodes.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck Young OGs, I quit.
Fuck these OGs, fuck these guests, fuck what they're talking about,
Yeah.
all that shit.
And that's, you know, in the moment, is it joking? Yeah, but there's a real feeling
Yeah.
behind it sometimes because I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like especially when we were so let me just scale it back. When we were doing After Dark, we were, in our opinion, we were highlighting high level artists here.
Yeah.
The DMs went crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard so much trash music.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like I never heard like the beats like I'm just
your ass,
let me
bitch.
let me
Shake your
stop.
ass,
Let me stop
bitch.
because then I'm just clowning. I'm just clowning.
Let me
But,
see it.
Yeah.
Shake your ass, bitch. You hear that one? Did they send you that one? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
The city 801, where I'm from, get it done. Got my gun, nigga. Like
Salty hoe.
Yeah. Big Salt Lake. I'm like, yo, this ain't Jersey. Like Big Salt Lake. Yeah, so it's like
There's gonna be so many
I was like,
rappers that are gonna be like,
I
I sent
was-
you a DM, you fuck.
no, I was like, yo, and Londo had been trying to put me on game for a while. I was like, yo, you hit the guest domino, and I'm getting music, and I'm like really trying to listen to it, and it's like fresh in this bitch, fresh motherfucker. Like I was like, yo, this is not for me. This is not the lane. Like I open like then is it Empire Inspire Empire? He hit me up like, yo, do you have to be an artist to come on? I'm like, oh fuck, we done rebranded this into some shit I never wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, the original idea.
yeah, we had to take a step back from that.
Yeah, the original idea for After Dark.
High level.
Yeah, high level was highlighting artists
Yeah.
and the process of what they go through
Right.
to create their product.
Yeah.
That's as high level as I could make it, but it ended up down that path.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, motherfucker had all the dominoes lined
Yeah.
up.
Bro.
Well, it's tough because
crazy.
you try to focus and put out a product that's quality, and again, like same thing I'm doing here, highlighting people I want to highlight,
Yeah.
people I think that deserve to be highlighted. But then when you get that person to reach out, or that, and I've been there to where like I wanted to be on something.
yeah.
Now I never felt like I put out work that wasn't quality, right? But they don't either, essentially. So that's a hard discussion with people. Like, I don't think this makes sense for us.
Yeah.
And then you could potentially have somebody that has a problem with you,
Yeah. Definitely.
and
Well,
then you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so now we've kind of we've essentially scaled back to anybody that we have on is really just highlighting our friends
Yeah.
or close acquaintances that we may have that are, in the community, making moves. You know what I
Right.
mean? So now, I mean, it's good that we have a rapper that's with us because like I told Mike, I'm like, yo, if we bring on any artist, they got to be as good as you, or if not better.
Yeah.
So the bar is pretty
Do
high.
you tell them when they're better? Like, hey, we're going to have so-and-so on, and he kind of got you.
Yeah, you know what? I told him. I said, "Yo," because I was joking with Bobby B. It was they opened for the game,
Yeah.
so I talked to Bob, the whole Moon Gang, all 28 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, I want all 28 of you guys in the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
you guys not all might not get to talk, but I would just want you on the background grilling.
Sitting there, yeah.
Yeah, like making me nervous.
I love that.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I told Mike, I said, hey, man, you know the rule, man. Like, so we bring them on. He's like, oh, no, they got it, bro. I was like, yeah, they shit is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Shout out to the Moon Gang, Rose Park 116. You already know what time it is, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Their dad, too. We used to do
Oh,
shit
yeah.
with their dad.
Beside, me and my dad was
Yeah.
talking about him the other day.
Yeah, crazy. When I saw them come up, I was like, wow. Because B-Side and all those guys had it, you know, but it was just a different time. But when I watched them, I'm like, there's nothing stopping those guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially with the tenacity that B-Side had. I mean, he went out and created his own radio station.
Yeah, exactly.
B-Side
That's wild.
radio. Like,
Yeah.
I remember that shit. That shit was dope.
No, and this shit was hot, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when he played me on there. I was like, yo, shit, I came up.
Yeah.
And I was hype about
I know
it,
when I
right?
got the tweet now playing The Strangers, that's what's, maybe we haven't put out music in 2 years.
oh, for real?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it was cool though. But yeah, them boys, that the whole Moon Gang, man, they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it.
Getting back to you guys, right? We're going to wrap up in a minute. But
What are you still
you okay?
I'm just enjoying this. I'm along for the ride.
Okay. All right. Where was I going now? I just got thrown off for a moment.
So, hey, Utah artist, I didn't mean that.
No, he did.
You gonna get me canceled.
We're going to go ahead and
You'll
put
get me
his
jumped.
contact information, right?
That's what you're gonna get canceled from. All the shit you say out of pocket. That's the one you're gonna get canceled for.
What's I guess I'll end on this for both of you and whomever can answer first if you'd like. But what's next for you? Because obviously there's an ultimate goal down the road, right? But what's next for the Young OGs? What's next for What the Hell Are We Doing? What's next for Young OG Media as a whole?
Bigger rooms.
Yeah, bigger rooms for sure. Bigger rooms. I would say for me, more directing,
Mm-hmm.
like how me and Miguel worked together on that last project. More directing that way, because I'm all about time. So it's like if Miguel can take something off my hands here and there, if Londo can take something off my hands, or even Danielle, Mike, just really being in that director role, and just really hype Williams and some shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, come on.
Little X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think bigger rooms, bigger contracts,
Yeah. Ooh.
and more skits, but not just the comedic skits. Like we have ideas around, little 2-3 minute films.
yeah.
Just to again continue to be creative and show the different types of eyes that we have, and another avenue to highlight the things that we see, the things that we've grown up with.
Yeah.
So I think it's just more evolution, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to get some groupies too. Like,
For what?
huh?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, it's
Why
been
not?
5 years. We're good looking gentlemen. You're good looking.
We got to cover.
We gotta get some groupies.
They show up.
Yeah. Well, I
They
don't know.
always
No,
show
I need
up.
some groupies. We need some groupies.
But they can't show up to
Bobby,
these
okay.
official events like where you're filming. Like, you
No,
want them there?
I need somebody to smash their titties on my Honda Accord.
you want the whole print.
Going with that, how do you talk to your significant others about leaving all, being this busy? What was that conversation like? Because, I have to have constant conversation with my wife on why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, why I want to do this, and she's on board.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are busy as fuck.
Just got to put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as my wife has a head up as far as like what I'm doing,
Yeah.
then it's fine. It's just like when oh, babe, by the way, then it's like, oh, your communication is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
So if I put it in the calendar, with my work schedule, then for the most part, the temperature's good. You know what I mean? But, shoot, about when All-Star Weekend ended, I think it was like Sunday. And I was like, yo, babe, did I tell you thank you, by the way? She's like, nah, for what? I'm like, just for being, supportive and let me go out there. And she's like, well, you're working, you're working, you're getting paid, you're networking. So like, that's what you like to do. You know what I mean? You see a future in that.
Yeah.
So, I got to support you, and I was like, but thank you though.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, because like, if you didn't marry, somebody that had aspirations outside of just being good at what he does at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know I was going to try to be an entrepreneur or be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like for relationships evolve and change and people grow apart and then come back together. So for her to be, respectful of my goals and me to be respectful of her goals outside of our marriage and, outside of her day-to-day job, because she has a side hustle as well. You know what I mean? Just like, you just got to have that mutual respect.
Yeah. With you guys have a young one at home, right? So what is that like now? Because prior to having, the child there, it's just the two of you, right?
Yeah. My wife came into this relationship with me busy all the time. I've always been, an 80+ hour type of person, just in a regular job type of thing. So she always knew this is what I was doing, and I always had other priorities. And for the longest time, she was 5th on the priority list. So we always had to have conversations about like where things were at.
Yeah.
And to me, I always had to put it to her like, look, especially, when we decided to get married, you are a priority. But in order to do the things that we do, to live the life that we live, these things have to be priority first. Otherwise, I can't do those things.
Yeah. Can't be taking you to Antigua 3 times a year.
Exactly. We can't do these things. So we both had to have conversations around, okay, if that's going to be the case, we need to figure out how we manage expectations with schedules and the expectations of the life we want to live. And that's made it a lot easier, for sure. But you add in, a child does make it a little bit more difficult. But it's the same thing. I'm the breadwinner. She does not.
That's gonna blow motherfuckers' ears out.
She does not want to be the breadwinner by any means.
Okay.
So knowing that that's the role in our relationship, like, this is what I have to do. I'm out here hustling for my future, for their future. So if anything happens to me, they're good.
Yeah.
So sacrifice of time just has to unfortunately be there. So while I am present, I have to be present. And that's where sometimes when it's not Young OG time, I don't answer the phone for Alonzo. I don't answer the phone for Danielle.
Yeah.
That should get set aside because it's their time
Yeah.
now. I'll get back to y'all later. So it's just, the mechanics of time.
Yeah. Danielle, how do you manage your time?
Like I was telling my boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, babe, I'm trying to get this money.
Yeah.
I'm single as hell. Damn.
Oh, you see how I was looking at you? I was like, what are you talking about?
He said.
No, but you have other
said,
shit
"Stop
going
lying."
on, right? You obviously have a job. You don't just,
Do I?
I don't know. Do you? I would assume
Actually,
so.
I got a sugar daddy. His name is, I just playing.
OF.
Odd Future.
Orville. No. Okay.
Over Redenbacher.
Love the popcorn.
So no, I don't have to have that conversation.
She has to have that conversation with herself.
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so you obviously have a job. You want to do other things outside of what the hell are we doing? But essentially that's your passion. How much time are you focusing on that outside of working with these guys, having the accountability meetings, stuff like that?
That's a great question.
I am a list person. So every day I have a list. And every day everything on that list has to get checked off. I have had to have hard conversations with myself in regards to the priorities that I have and what's important and what's not important. I am at a point in my life where I'm wanting to work smarter and not harder. Someone told me something actually last year. I was like, I'm a hard worker, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a hard worker. I get things done. I don't mind working. That's just how I grew up. That's like, there's no one taking care of me but me. There's no one coming to save me. I am not the type of woman, I'm not looking to be saved. I want a partnership. So I always had this hard work pays off. So I work hard. And it was like, it ain't no day. It was Londo. So I'm tired. I'm tired of this motherfucker.
I'm an asshole. Bro.
No. No, but I love it. My mom's like that, so I don't know how to receive it, but directly.
Got it.
He said, it don't matter how hard you work if you're not getting shit done.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck you, man. Shit. So like,
She did not like that, bro. She was on that Zoom video like,
and like I had to eat ass face. Shout out to Kevin Hart. You know when he was like, like I was sitting there like he really said, and so I've been having to really kind of check what's important to me and how to get to my goals without quote unquote working so hard. And that has really had me come to a lot of decisions as of late. But I like it. I don't think I could have like relationships of any sort in my life if I'm not being held accountable. If you're not helping me grow, I don't need you in my life. And so you had asked a question in regards to feedback. I do welcome the feedback and I love the feedback. And I think it's because I trust these guys. I know it's not, even if it is hard and I may not want to hear it, I know that it's coming from a place of love and they're seeing like my potential and what I need to do to get there. So I don't take it personally. I might, have to sit back and really take time to swallow it.
Sure.
Pause.
I know. I was about to say that too.
I think we had this conversation on yours. Depending on who's saying that, it might not be pause worthy.
Black girls don't be swallowing.
I'm not going to answer that.
This is the kind of shit you get on what the hell are we doing?
I was about to say that's not for
all that moving black culture forward.
Yeah, and then
I'm not going to do
totally
that.
fucks it up.
We get canceled. You know who it comes from, bro.
But I will say that's lies.
Oh, lies.
But just to get back into like feedback and, you know, like these are my guys, these are my brothers. And if anybody's going to keep it real with me, it is these guys. And they have my back. And to know, you know, even though I may not like it, but I know that it's coming from a genuine place. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really anything to take personally. So, yeah. I hold myself accountable when it comes to like time, you know, and they're like, they have check in with anybody, I have to check in with myself. Yeah. And my cat Bella, you know, because she'd be like, bitch, what the fuck you at? You're not at home. I got a schedule. You ain't playing with me.
Litter
no
box
more.
is all fucked
You know
up.
what I'm saying?
There's zero food in my bowl.
That's what I'm saying. She be with my fresh water. I be like, damn.
I know. We got a big cat at home too, and sometimes I come home and I'm like, you ate all of that, you big bastard.
Yeah, she meowing at me and shit.
Makes sense, y'all motherfuckers, cat people.
Listen, I would have a dog, but we go out of town a lot, and I don't want to have someone come in and have to watch the dog. I think that's fucked up. Once I'm settled and we're like, okay, well, we might travel every other year, I'll get a dog because I love dogs.
Where are you going to anytime soon?
Antigua next year.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's why you've been mentioning
Where's
Antigua?
Middle East?
No, it's like the close to Caribbean.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Is it by Turks? I want to go to Turks.
I went to Turks once when I was younger.
How was it?
I was there for like 4 hours because it was on a cruise, so I don't
okay.
know. I don't know how it was. Puerto Rico, I spent time in a little bit longer. That was cool.
Okay.
We don't need to get to my travel history. Let's get into this. Before I have a couple more questions. We're gonna do the rapid fire stuff for all of you as a collective.
Okay.
Let's do this first though. I usually do this at the beginning of these. Obviously, you guys know hip hop is turning 50 this year, so not quickly. You can take as long as you want. Each one of you, I want to know what hip hop means to you.
Ownership, expression, culture. First, not last. Getting it out the mud. Progression, pizzazz, creativeness, and always on top.
That was good. That was really good.
It's the hypnotic.
I'd say the peak of communication. I think
we don't got these. So
Yeah, it's okay.
communication is
You ain't got this.
is essential, right?
Yeah.
And to have such a vast array of people being able to communicate at that type of level about their backgrounds, about their struggles, and reach the masses that it has is one of the most powerful things, which is why hip hop is where it's at today. It inspired me to be a linguist. I wanted to learn how to communicate, and I, put my hand in hip hop for a while and writing and learning how to articulate better. But that's helped me in my career. That's helped put me in rooms that I shouldn't be in, like we talked about. So I think it's the peak of communication, and I think it's continued to evolve, and I'm just so hyped to see where it continues to go.
Yeah. If you want to see a young Londo and a young Will Wonder, go on YouTube and look up Where the Spit Is At. And you will find us in the background. And a young Emerson Kennedy in a Lady Gaga V-neck.
Yeah, that's true.
But he was tough with his lyrics, but we were like,
True.
what are you wearing?
He had the deep joint.
Yeah,
Damn.
almost belly button.
Had a little hamburger meat hanging out.
Yeah.
American Apparel Deep V.
I think, and for sure the pants were express, but like in the small section. Shout out to Emerson, though. I love you, bro. Danielle, what does hip hop mean to you?
I feel like, sitting at a table with y'all are immersed in hip hop. I'm not like y'all, but if I had to, I would say freedom, a voice, leadership, commonality, often imitated, never duplicated. and livelihood. Shit, and it's soul. It's just it's spirit. And it's a way to connect.
For sure. Perfect. We're going to get into the rapid fire questions for the group, okay? There's not as many as there would be on an individual basis, but let's do this. So, you guys know I love horror films, and I know...
You're going to have to assign the question to somebody, because otherwise three of us are going to...
No. It's a group thing, and I'm going to explain how this works.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to explain how this works.
I'll shut up. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, it's
Shut
okay.
up, Londo, motherfucker.
It's okay.
It's not your podcast.
So, trying to take ownership. I appreciate it, but let me do my shit. Okay. You guys know I love horror films. We've talked about it multiple times. So every slasher film has roles. Okay. We're going to pretend like Miguel and Mike are here. Okay. So there's 5 of you, 5 different roles that we have in this. I need to know who is what role. Okay. And let me lay these out, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves to figure this out. There's the killer, obviously. Okay. There's the one who everyone suspects is the killer. And then you get that swerve at the end. There's the last one to live. There's the comic relief. And then there's that motherfucker you want to die from the jump. So,
I already know.
there's the 5 of you, imaginary. We're going to have Miguel and Mike here.
Damn.
I think Londo would be the killer. Everybody would think Alonzo would be the killer. Mike
There's
would
only
be
one
the,
killer.
No, think.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the think. Yeah.
I think I'd be
Think.
comic relief.
I think Mike would be the comic relief.
I think Mike get killed first. He'd probably be rapping or some shit.
Mike's the one you want to get killed.
He be about to get the hook up. He'd be like, yeah.
Remember, because like Trey Songz, they got him out of here.
They did quick.
Okay, yeah.
House of Wax, right?
Oh, okay.
Hey, Trey Songz.
Wait, what was the other two?
Mike would be with a white girl in the corner with his back turned.
I rap, baby. The other 2 were so the killer, the one who everyone suspects is the killer, the last one to live, the comic relief, and the one you want to die the most.
Miguel would be the last.
The last to
one.
live.
Yeah, Miguel
Yeah.
be last to
He'd
live.
be the survivor for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would be
I
the,
thought they was gonna vote me to be the one to die first.
who would you want for everyone to think that want to die the most?
All the 5 of us?
Yeah.
Probably Londo. Londo be talking shit like he's so logical. He'd be
But
like,
see, I
man,
Why y'all motherfuckers going upstairs?
Yeah,
You guys
man.
would all be around the
I told y'all we
campfire
shouldn't even
smoking,
came
and you'd be
up
like,
here.
why are we here?
yeah, we shouldn't even
Did
came
nobody
up here.
read the
We
newspaper?
ain't got no Wi-Fi up in here. You know what I mean? Like,
They do be the super logical ones that die.
yeah. Y'all done came up into the forest. Ain't nobody got no 4-wheel drive.
Because if you
Nobody
think
brought
about,
no water.
I thought y'all said I was the killer, though.
Yeah, I thought, okay.
I thought he would either be.
I'd definitely be the killer. Y'all
I think he would be a killer too. He got.
I can see Miguel killing motherfuckers.
If it's this group, yeah.
Yeah.
Miguel
Okay.
definitely be the killer.
I kind of lean towards Miguel because he's so quiet.
Yeah.
But you don't suspect him because he's,
Then who would we suspect to be the
no,
killer?
that's a fact, though. Miguel would end up being the killer for sure.
Okay.
They would suspect he's the
Alonzo.
killer.
Why?
Yeah.
You'd be the comic relief.
Why would they
Okay.
think I was a killer?
Mike would be the first to go.
Okay.
And I'll be the one that motherfuckers want to die.
Why would people think I'm the killer?
Cause you the smart ass of the group. You always talking shit. Always.
That's fact.
Yeah. He like, look at him talking shit. He finna die when he going to the next room. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because that's the dynamic on our podcast.
yeah,
anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He like people love this dude, and me they're like, I don't know about that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you, bro. If I never said it to you, I love you.
No, I
okay?
appreciate
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you can tell. You can tell where the
No, I
love
get it.
is.
I know what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
There's always that one. I'm that one.
The 3 of you, you can all say one event here, but one event that you would love to work at or work for, cover as a media company. So you hosting, you doing everything in the background or taking the money, being paid, right? You doing what you do, Zoe, on all ends. What's one event that you guys would love to cover each individually as a collective? That sounded weird, but you know what
That's
I mean.
hard.
I feel
Pause.
like
Event here in Utah.
Anywhere in any event there
for
that you can
all
think
of
of.
us,
Yeah.
when I think of something that could benefit all of us, Grammys or Oscars.
BET Awards.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Because everybody don't watch the BET Awards. Everybody watch the Grammys. You gotta be thinking bigger, bitch.
I'm
You
trying.
know,
Nah, I'm trying to.
Wait, you know the meme? They like.
I'm trying
bigger.
I'm trying to be with my kinfolk, man. I think that'd be dope. BET Awards.
Should
Okay.
be at this point you'd be interviewing like Glorilla.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Okay.
Shoot.
All
Hey. What's the girl they call
Oh,
people the
baby.
eaters? The Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Ice-
You munching.
Come on, something. Now every once in a while they got some big people at the BET
Yeah,
Awards.
yeah,
Last
yeah.
BET Awards was lit.
Okay.
No.
Or
Okay.
I would say like the premiere of Power, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Londo, what about you?
Oh no, that's a hard one. Because financially, there's other areas that we can go to get us a lot more money if that's all we're really focused on. But I think from a sheer diversity point and a representation point, I think it would be super, super dope for us to have like a contract with professional boxing.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope too. That'd be dope too.
Because you have so many
be tough.
different
Yeah.
ethnicities there.
Oh yeah,
that
that'd
are
be hard.
boxing. Then you have so much promotion going
Like yo,
on.
Javante, what's up, man?
Yeah,
What's up?
you see us
Yeah.
clowning around talking
Yeah.
shit, but it'd be cool to do the media behind that and have some type of contract behind that because you get that representation
Yeah.
from everything that we kind of promote, but we get to highlight it in a different way because we're not just going to talk to just the boxers. We're going to talk to the trainers and this and that.
You know it's crazy when we All Star was just here, right? So I'm in a room full of celebrities. You know the people I fanboyed over? I I was like, yo, I'm talking to these brothers. I'm saying what's up. I don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't take no picture because I didn't want to be like groupie.
Right.
But was the YouTubers. Like all the YouTube ballers was here.
Got it.
And I was like, yo, Zone 6, yo, Kenny Chow, what's up? Oh. And people were like, man, who is that? I'm like, yo, this Kenny, he be busting people's ass on the court. Like that's the people like T Jazz.
Okay.
He was in there too. Like those are the people that I really like get up for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when I started this camera journey, I wasn't in a good spot. So YouTubers really helped me. You know what I mean? I was watching the YouTubers get their shit off, and I was like, yo, okay, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And I can do it better. And if they can monetize, I can figure out a way to monetize. So I think a YouTube event, they got YouTube Black. Yeah. So YouTube event would be dope too.
Damn, I wanted to share this story from All-Star Weekend, but I can't find the guy's name now. I was in line after All-Star Saturday night. Ridiculous prices at the team store, right? But I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to get something.
Yeah.
Wife's over there looking for a tumbler while I'm at the back of the fucking line with a shirt for my son and one of my friends' nephews. And there's these two kids behind me. We're just bullshitting. They were like, oh, I love your wife's jersey. She had an old Steve Nash thing. We're like, yeah, that's cool. All right. And then this old guy, 60-something years old, comes up right in front of me. And he says, are you two YouTubers? And he's just obviously looking past me to the kids behind me.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, yeah, we are. 2K YouTubers? They play NBA 2K.
Okay.
And he's like, listen, my son loves you guys. Is there any way we could get a photo? And I'm like, wow. So they take the picture. The dad leaves with the kid. My wife finally comes back from getting the fucking tumbler way over there. There's thousands of people in this shop. I tell my wife, hey, these guys are famous. No. But anyways, I looked the kid up. Off of YouTube playing NBA 2K. He's bought a home.
Yeah.
He's like 20 years old.
It's crazy.
Right? And it just makes me think there's so many possibilities in doing this.
Yeah.
To where obviously reaching levels of, I don't even know, like super famous YouTubers. There's that kid, Kai, right? Younger dude.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of money. I
Yeah.
think he does it on Twitch. But there's so many ways to find a living off of this, and not like millions and millions of dollars, but where you can live comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I
Free
love
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's half the battle.
Yeah.
Road, give me some mics.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, sorry, I wanted to share that story because I haven't even said it on the podcast, but it was just one of those things where I was like,
Damn.
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, those earrings are real, huh? Because,
Yeah. No
never
shit.
know.
No, I've never seen so many ridiculous ass fucking jewelry.
chains. Yeah.
It's crazy. What about you, Danielle? You said the Grammys?
Grammys. Is that what you think would be a perfect fit for you guys?
Essence Fest.
It's hot as hell. It's Essence Fest. It's hot.
Yeah, well,
Mardi Gras.
I thought about Grammys because it's like there's a music
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
branding in
Yeah.
it. And of course, there's a lot of money at the Grammys
You
too.
devil
Sure.
whisperer.
So
Nah, bro.
We're not going to get into that here, okay? Okay. For that content, check out the, I don't know what episode it was, but it's, I've sent it out by this time multiple times. Zoe has thoughts. We're just going to leave it at that. All right. Last rapid fire question. And I do this with everybody. I've done this with you two individually, but I want you guys to do it as a group. We have the Young OG Fest. Young OG Fest. 4 acts, dead or alive. You guys have to discuss this with yourselves, between yourselves, and you have to agree upon 4. And I need the opener, who comes after, and then obviously the third and the closer.
In sync. I just played.
No, that's a hard one. 'Cause like,
This is hard.
No, it is, but you know what I'm saying? I need you guys as
no,
a team.
I get it. I think what makes it difficult is the wide variety of music that we all listen to.
Dead or alive? Dead?
Both.
Either. Excuse me.
Shit.
Yeah, because there's
At
like,
this point, I was seeing the camera was going to be focused on you, and I was drinking this water, but now I'm going to look crazy. But it's fine. Yeah, dead or alive. Excuse me.
yeah, because like one person I would easily throw in there, but I don't know if these guys are going to agree with it whatsoever. Is Frank Sinatra?
Oh, Sinatra. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
Sinatra has to be in my lineup.
Okay. Okay.
Like
then.
1,000%,
Shit,
Perfect.
Sinatra. Shit, Jay-Z and Sinatra can do My Way.
bro.
You know about that song?
Bro.
Blueprint
See,
2?
This is why.
Or
I feel
a
like I'm
riff
not-
on New York, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go Jay. I go Hove.
Yeah, Hov for
Okay.
sure. Hov-
Yeah.
Hov.
Danielle, you get one, and then you all have to agree on one.
Who you want, like Tiny from Escape?
You know.
So no, that's Sierra.
Okay, so we got
I started singing "So Up." They have a different one.
I feel like I gotta go R&B then, or do we all decide on the R&B?
No, you pick someone. That
Pick
you
your own,
We
and
got
then you
hip-hop, we
will
got-
all
Pick
have
yours.
have
pick-
one that you
Yeah, just
decide
pick,
on.
pick one person that you would bring.
Well,
Don't worry about the 2 we just picked.
well, I do because we thinking about it as a team.
No,
We
no,
said
no.
a
This
team.
is Young OG Fest, so you all
Yeah,
have
Young
a,
OG Fest.
You're going to.
We got
This is
Sinatra,
the
we
deal.
got Jay.
You're going to decide the closer, right?
Okay.
So
all right.
who do you want there, and then you guys can all decide on that last act.
She said Enya.
See ya. Indie
This happened
Irie.
last time. No, I'm gonna go with Usher.
Ooh,
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want the lights? The cat. They do that cameo too. Hollywood. Was that Usher from? from
That was
Jay?
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Oh, was it? But
Yeah.
I thought Usher.
Who is
What song was Usher on Kingdom Come?
Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Usher and Beyonce.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, we got 2 extras on there.
Nice.
That's now we got to come with the closer.
That you need the closer as a collective.
Closer.
So you guys can talk this out, right?
Who's closing that out?
So we got Frank, we got Usher, and we got Hove. So I think we need to have another
I was gonna
More
say Biggie
upbeat.
Smalls.
person
Easy E.
on there. I'll fuck with Easy.
I'm not West Coast. I don't
Okay.
listen to West Coast music like that though.
Fucking 2023, man. Like, grow up already.
Yeah, it gotta be like Big or Pac to
Yeah.
surpass.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't have no West Coast in there, so I guess it would be. Even though I like Biggie Smalls better than Pac, but he got
Coast they're
Hov.
from.
And Thug Mansion.
But if you like round it and when they're like it closes and they come out, bro.
Keep going.
Little Natasha show grown.
Did you say either of those two? You say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So that's what we're
Tupac or
going?
Biggie Smalls.
I know which one. I think Biggie would have to be up there.
I'm cool with that. Biggie,
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Frank, Jay,
Usher,
Usher, Biggie.
Biggie. Ooh.
Young OG Fest, hosted by the Young OGs.
Yup.
Sponsored by
Young
Frank's
OG.
there. You got to have some type of cigar company,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
By the Rat Pack, bro.
Yeah, there you go. Sammy's hosting, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I'm talking about.
Before we,
Take long. That's good.
no, that was good. Yeah.
Teamwork, guys.
See, you guys do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what that showed. If anything.
We'll give Mike the festival stage.
Festival stage. Before we end this, the YouTube interviews, where can everyone find you guys? Where can they contact you if they're interested in having you do videography for their event, have you host their event, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, just go, head over to the Young OG Perspective on Instagram, or if you want to just do it a little bit more formal, the Young OG Perspective at gmail.com.
There you go. Danielle, where can they find you?
They can find me at What the Hell Are We Doing? WTHR We Doing on Instagram.
Season 3 coming?
Yes, Season 3 coming in the next 2 weeks, or via email, whatthehellare-we-doing@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you a lot. If you don't listen to these guys, if you don't watch what they're doing, watch how they're moving, please do, because everything they're doing is very important, even when they have me on and they don't release the video.
Shit coming Friday.
This fool got so much salt in that wound.
Shit coming, man.
Like,
Illuminati, room temp. Let's go.
But for real, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
we appreciate you, Will.
Thank you.